Good morning, everybody, and let's get going here. This first point, pretty basic point to emphasize basic positioning on the court. This isn't exactly what I wanted. Okay, here we go. Let's watch Laura at the net. Good. All right. So, what can we learn for something like this? This is just to reinforce the importance of this person here, the importance of being behind the service line to give yourself time to react to the efforts of the net person who is moving on to poach. And you can see, in fact, Janina's, if you look at her feet, she's even cheating in a little bit before the return has even cleared Laura. So it's very important. You can see she's moved up a little bit. She's really taken herself out of position to react to a basic ball like that. So anytime you see that person in Janine's position, not where they need to be, in fact, moving up before the fact, those are great times to poach. Okay, here we go. Let's move on. Let's see what happens here. All right, I think Amy knows what happened here. So let's check this point out. Immediately you see Amy hits this great shot, and she's taken Janine way off the court there. Gail's done a great job of moving over there. So obviously, when we get people pulled in dire situations, instead of being the excellent spectator that she is, she would obviously want to make this dash into the court, because what happens here, Laura makes a nice volley from below the net, but tough to finish the point from there. And here it is. There's nobody at the net on this side of the court, so with the ball bouncing, now they're back into the point. And so now when Gail gets a second chance at this ball, with Amy being in the position that she's in, obviously not a lot of time to react to that. So just a reminder for all of you, when your opponents are in trouble, get up there, take advantage of the situation, and take time away from your opponents as much as possible and get that next ball in the air. All right. Okay. There's a reason why I have this point, and that is sometimes you can be in the best position possible. And right here, I would say Amy's in a pretty neutral position. Laura's in good shape there. And Gail's dealing with the ball all the way back on her baseline. And so what does Gail do? She hits this short angle winner. And when that happens, you do the right thing and just congratulate your opponents on a job well done. Here we go. 127. Okay. All right. This is a great example of the finer points of the game as far as timing with footwork, and I'll show you what I mean here. Okay, and let's back this up a little bit here. And the person I'd like you to isolate on here is Laura, and we're looking at the timing of her footwork. So here it is. Gail's getting ready to hit the ball. Laura's still moving, and it's at this point, obviously, when your opponent goes to hit the ball, we all know the basics, and that is go to your split step. But she's still moving, the ball's being hit, and she's still moving. And watch what happens on this next shot. Amy goes back cross court. Laura shifts with the ball, but as Gail goes to hit the ball, Laura is still moving with her feet. She should be split right now and ready to go right or left, but her momentum, because that split happens a little bit late, see how she carries herself. Okay, she's still being carried out. Gail's making contact. Laura is still moving to her right. And you can just see where that ball comes through. Here's the ball, and that's why the timing of that split step, right when your opponent gets hit the ball, is so critical, because that would enable Laura the opportunity to, even though she's shifting to her right to block the alley, it still gives her the opportunity or the leeway to go back into the middle to intercept that volley. And when her momentum carries her out, obviously Amy's in a cross-court defend position, and this ball, that's what allows the ball to go right up the center of the court. So again, right when your opponent goes to hit the ball split, you can go right or left equally as well. Lesson learned, and let's move on to our next point. All right. And let's see what happens here, because I don't remember. Oh, baby. This is, oh, yes. This is one of your fundamental returns in the game. And what you have, this is a second serve situation. And here we go. And look how Laura, let's key in on Laura here. And watch what she does with her positioning here as the serve's being hit. She moves up into the court instead of waiting on it. And we have a second server who's staying back behind her shot. And if you look where she's playing this from, and this is so important for all of you to realize, the value of just moving up into the court. And look how close. You can do that on a lot of second serves against your peers. And, what does she do? She does the right thing and goes short with this, where Gail isn't able to run it down. What I see a lot of is people taking this return and going deep to the baseline and coming in behind it. And then the follow-up for Gail's position is she just lobs over Amy's head. And I see this every day out there with people playing. So when you have people that are being so nice to you to hit a nice short serve like that, drop it short. Doesn't have to be a winner. Because even if she runs this ball down, let's say Gail gets to that ball. Well, you've got the Grand Canyon in the middle of the court to finish off the point. So you've dropped it short, you pulled her out of position, and that's why it's so critical to be able to hit that kind of short return. Okay? Moving forward, and I think we have another situation where the timing of the split step comes into play. Okay. Oh, boom. All right. Laura, this is going to be so important for you. In fact, it's important for everybody on that vein. Now let's watch this and break this down. And let's key in on Laura's movement here as Amy's return goes cross court. And as Gail is getting ready to strike this ball, again, let's watch Laura's momentum at the net and watch how her feet, the momentum of her feet, are still dragging her over to the alley, and the ball comes back through the center. And now Laura, as quickly as she can, she tries to brace and go back, but it's basically too late. You've lost your leverage on your volley, and you can see the ball really hasn't been hit that far, hasn't even been hit across the center. It's clearly Laura's ball, and you can see with that kind of volley now, and that is an end result of your timing with your split step, because without that you lose balance and leverage, the volley pops up, and Janine or anybody in this situation, there's not a whole heck of a lot you can do to defend the point at that point. Okay? Okay. So let's see what happens here. This looks innocent enough, where the serve is being hit, and this time let's key in on Amy's position. This is where, fundamental position as far as shadowing the ball, and we can see where the ball is at this point, and this is where, just getting in front of the ball a little bit really makes a difference in this game, because you can see where this ball is coming through in this area of the court, and doesn't matter who is at the net. That's the kind of ball you want to go after, and it's got to be yours, because in Laura's position, she's looking for either a short angle, deep cross court, but it's really tough to cover this ball in addition to that. And you can see it just innocently just drops in between the two of them. So this is where it's a positioning thing again, that just get in front of the ball and shift out to it. If, let's say, Gail has been hitting a backhand at this point, well, at that point I would say Amy would be in great position because she's right in front of the ball. Here the ball is to the outside of Amy, and Gail sees this path through this area of the court, and she took advantage of it. So let's watch one more point in this set. Move up 10 feet. Okay, right there. Oh, baby, well done. Oh, that's exactly what we've been working on. Okay, so here it is, a return of serve that you can manage. And so her intent is to go high and deep. And let's watch, and you can see Janine in this situation, backing up on her heels. Laura does the right thing and just kind of comes up. And also notice, if you look at Amy, she didn't run to the top of the net. We know that when we put people back on their heels, how the ball comes up in the air. But in this case, a lob doesn't come back. Janine hits her famous low ball off of this situation, but you can clearly see Janine is way the heck back behind the baseline. And so even though Laura is hitting from a defensive position here, because of the fact that Janine is, back in the green, the smart play here is exactly what she does. She just drops it over the net. Again, you don't have to hit it as a winner. That's just a long run from the person off the baseline. And again, if, let's say, Laura hits a strong half volley back to Janine, gives Janine another crack at it to hit maybe another low ball or possibly even lob off of that situation. Okay, so that completes our first series. We've got one more series to look at.